Lesson 3 of Year 11 Crime and Deviance, and today we're having a look at social control. Your objective is to be able to define the two types of social control and give examples of each. It builds on work that we did right at the start of Year 10, looking at socialisation, so hopefully this will be really straightforward and it shouldn't be a task that takes you too long. So, what is social control? Social control is the way that society gets us to behave. We are all under a certain amount of social control, and essentially it's how it gets us to behave and follow the norms and values, which, as we know from last year, links to socialisation. So there's a lot of overlap with the agents of socialisation, but we're focusing more now on not learning norms and values, but preventing deviance. And therefore, as we know that a lot of crime is also deviant behaviour, it's how does society try to prevent deviance from occurring. There are two types of social control that you need to know about: formal and informal imaginative names. And I'm going to go through both of those with examples now. Formal social control deals with the written laws and rules that are enforced in society. And in most societies, most cultures, this is enforced by the state, i.e. the government. So things like the criminal justice system, which covers the police, the courts, all of the punishments that are issued to people, all of those deal with these written laws and formal rules that we are expected to follow as a society. Sometimes the army are also called in to act in this situation. And so the army also falls under the definition of formal social control. It can also be broadened slightly to include very formal rules from other agencies. For example, schools, there are certain rules that the government sets out have to be followed around exclusions, and also some sports, the governing bodies of sports can dish out punishments for serious rule breaks. So, for example, if someone's found using drugs in sport, they are very formal rules that have very formal sanctions. Informal social control, unsurprisingly, is concerned with the enforcement of informal rules, what we would call the unwritten norms, all of those things that ensure that we conform in social situations. So informal agencies of social control are the agencies of socialisation that we've talked about before: family, education, peer group, workplace, media, and religion. So there's some little pictures up there to kind of help you out. Don't they all look happy and smiley and conforming and stuff? All of these try to enforce conformity, not through formal sanctions, not through formal, you go to punishment, you go to prison, you do those sorts of things, but by putting pressure on us. And that pressure comes through rewards and punishments. And often that reward or punishment is as simple as approval or disapproval. For example, being told off by your parents, from your peer group, laughing at you or mocking you if you're not wearing the right thing or listening to the right kind of music. All of these subtle things that these agents of social control do help us to learn what's right from wrong. Think about the media. I'm thinking about those awful magazines and websites where they take the mickey out of celebrities who are wearing the wrong thing, or they have kind of pictures circling their fashion mistakes or whatever it might be. And all of that is trying to pass on a message of what's acceptable and what's not. So it's trying to stamp out any kind of deviance and the way that we might move away from social norms. And it's as simple as that. Formal and informal social control are the two things I need you to get out of today's lesson. I've scanned in a copy of the textbook, and that's on Show My Homework waiting for you as a PDF. What I'd like you to do is answer the following questions. So number 1, make sure you've got a definition of both formal and informal social control in your notes. Number 2, describe 2 ways that individuals are encouraged to conform to formal rules. Try to use some examples where possible. Number 3, identify 3 informal agencies of social control. and explain how each one encourages individuals to conform to informal rules. And number 4, I thought this would be quite fun. Imagine you've been given the task of rewriting the Warrener behaviour policy. I want you to think about this, the role of the Warrener as an agent of social control in your life. If you had the choice, what would be 3 rewards and 3 negative sanctions, 3 punishments you would use to encourage students to follow the rules? I'm very interested to see what you suggest there. As always, take a picture, upload it to show my homework so I can just see how you've got on. Golden challenge is on the next slide. So really simple. I'd like you to do a diamond 9. So at the bottom you can see family, police, army, media, religion, education, courts, peer group and workplace. 9 agents of social control. Can you put them into a diamond 9 of importance based solely on your opinion? Which one do you think is more important in getting people to conform, to stick to the rules? Colour code them for formal and informal, and then justify your top and bottom choices. I think it'd be really interesting to see what you guys come up with. Thank you.